a few years ago, I saw some movement back here.
Coach, your defense is performing exceptionally well right now, and I'm curious, when it's performing at that level, is it more just keeping it on the tracks, or are you still looking to nuances and making changes and anything you can do?
Each week is so different. So, again, the main objective for us is to keep them from having more points than our offense. So, again, that's how we judge ourselves in terms of like how we're doing. So that's the most important thing there. And then we know in this league, each week is different. So the main thing is try to, within the 6 days, or in this case, 4 days, see what's best for this to stop this opponent, to minimize their playmakers. They got a good offensive line. They're working well together. The skill guys, I know the situation at quarterback, but I mean, from what I saw on the tape, I mean, this guy can throw the ball around. Seems like he's pretty confident, has control of the offense. So it's going to be a challenge tomorrow night.
Jack Jones comes in 2 weeks, makes a humongous impact. What is it about him that allowed him to adjust and make a huge impact?
Some similarities probably with some of the verbiage, coming from New England. I mean, again, I haven't been there for 8 years, but I'm sure there's some similar verbiage that goes on between the two defenses. The fact that he's been well trained, I know that, whether from college to the pros, I know the coaches that have dealt with him. And he has great energy, loves football. I'll take those guys any day of the week.
How did you keep your defense from maybe frustration and finger pointing last week when they're shutting them down the whole game and there's nothing coming from the offense?
The thing, we're all professionals here, and our job is to minimize what they do offensively and stop them from scoring points. And the main objective is to win the game. So the biggest thing about this group is a resilient group. And again, they worry about what they have to do. They have to do their job. And the thing is, we know that we got to do our job better each week. Improvement, it's all about improvement. And the reason why guys don't get frustrated because they're not thinking about it. They don't blink. Whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter. They know that we just got to do our job.
Pat, your blitz rates, pretty low like the last month. Is it fair to assume? I said your blitz rates kind of, pretty low the last month. Is it fair to assume that against a guy making his first start without giving stuff away, you might want to heat him up more? You're smiling than you normally would.
I mean, there's no way to answer that question without giving anything away. But
good question.
And then, we do what we think's best for the game. I mean, sometimes it's the blitz, sometimes it's the drop 8, sometimes it's to rush 4, rush 5. I mean, again, we're going to do what we think is best. At this point in the season, everybody's pretty much seen what everybody's done, week 14. And we're try the program stays the same all the time. Stop the run, try to tackle, and then try to affect the quarterback. Whatever you think is best there, disguise, pressure, man, zone. I'm not trying to give you I'm purposely giving you a vague answer.
Right, I get it.
So, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but like that, it is what it is.
Do you think they do a little more quarterback run game with him?
Everything's, when you got a guy that hasn't played a lot of snaps, my job is to be ready for everything and then prepare the guys to be ready for anything. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I know he's pretty creative in terms of what he's done in the past. So we're going to do what we think is best and prepare. That's the fun part about our job on defense. We got to prepare for a lot of stuff, a lot of motions, formations, players, coordinators, situations. I enjoy it. And then to jam-pack that into a short week, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Last thing from me real quick. Tyree inside, now that you've seen it on film and saw how successful he was last week, is that something potentially more of?
In my career, when you get those young rookies, those young players, and you move them inside, the defensive ends, it gives them an opportunity to grow, to learn to use their hands. Because, however you slice it, when you're talking about somebody that's had his success, he probably hasn't really been blocked since he was in even in Pop Warner. Truly blocked by. So when they get to this level and now they're professionals and guys that have skill sets that are better than what they went against in college and they're getting blocked, they got to use their hands. And that's one way, a tool that Robbie's used in the past, I've used in the past. Chandler Jones, I think I told you guys before, we started them off rushing inside. It helps those guys. And then they learn how to use their length. And then it's going to help them even when they go back outside.
Did he at all come in and say, hey man, that was fun?
To me, rookies don't talk to the coordinator. They think, because I wish they would come and talk to me more often. Rookies, sometimes they're a little nervous coming to talk to me, but I'm sure he was smiling, his smile, whatever. I mean, he's pretty stoic face all the time, so I think he was smiling.
You talked about what you've seen from Easton. Did you go? Is it mostly preseason? Did you go back to college to watch North Dakota State stuff?
I'm telling you, I don't have any hobbies. I watch everything. Everything I think is important. I mean, no hobbies.
Jerry was in his draft class 2019. Did you speak to him? Maybe get some insight?
I do. This is my job. Wherever you can think of, you probably did.
So you talked to everyone, saw everything.
Hey,
you know what he has for breakfast.
Jerry loves Chargers quarterbacks.
Coach Antonio Pierce talked this morning about how at the beginning his idea was for the team as a whole to match Max Crosby's energy. How did you get the rest of the defenders to match that energy, because that's what we've seen, and how do you continue this energy through these 4 weeks as the season goes the way it is?
That comes from Max and the players in the locker room. Really, in terms of the energy. I think one of the things that I don't want to speak for AP, but he's pointing out the objective, and then the players, they go execute that. And for me to say that, they're here in the NFL. They've been highly successful people in their lives. I don't know if any words from me is going to motivate them. I could always guide them as a teacher would. I try to guide them in the right direction, and I think AP made a great point about let's match Max's energy, and it's really the players making a choice. No different than when they were kids and they made a choice to try to be NFL players. That's what the fun part of our job is. Outside of winning games, outside of wearing sweats every day, we get to see guys that are really motivated, guys that are young, that made these decisions at young ages, that continue to make decisions, and they execute it. I'm always proud of those guys.
Coach, I kind of have a two-parter. One,
you always have a two-parter.
I got not too many left, but is it hard to look at what happened on Sunday and be like, that was our best defensive performance without the win, or can you still look at it and be like, this was our best football? And also, can you just also talk about the leadership of Marcus Epps with what he brings to this team?
Anytime we lose, obviously that's not the objective. So is it hard? I hate to lose. So I hate to lose. And so is it hard? You just learn from the experience. Each experience, each game is a chance to get better and grow from it. Whether you win by 40 or you lose by 3, it's always a chance to grow. And we use that tool the best we can. And shorter week, it's a little bit different, but we use that tool the best we can to see some improvement.
Oh, and Marcus Epps' leadership.
Epps, again, I think the nature of the position, the safety position, the communication is huge. So naturally you're thrust into a leadership role, and thankfully he's embraced that, and he has natural leadership qualities in terms of the players gravitate to him in the cafeteria. The players gravitate to him when we have team building exercises. So it's always a positive there. I never met him before, but you saw on the tape that he was one of the guys from Philadelphia communicating. You heard great things about him, and that's always important for that position. Naturally, it's going to happen to a certain degree, but when it's natural for them to do it, it's A+ for us.
When Tyree was picked, the plan was to bring him along slow, obviously, as he got healthy, and hope next year he was 100%. I talked to him yesterday. He said he's still not 100 yet, which that wasn't expectations. How much joy do you take in your tutelage to watch guys grow and just continue to get better? And that's a credit to you. He credited to you yesterday. What does that mean to you just to watch guys grow under your leadership?
The biggest thing is any teaching and technique improvement, that's coming from Robbie Leonard and Matt Edwards. Those are the guys dealing with them day to day, play to play, in and out meetings. And it's also him making a choice. Once you leave college and you don't have anything but football to do, it's a transition for them. Before they had this balanced study hall, they had the balance going to class. Now you're professional football. This is your profession. Everything you do is geared towards being the best you can for those 17 opportunities on Sundays during the fall and during the fall. And I think it's their decision to do that. And I don't really want to take any credit for that. My job is to make sure I don't put them in the wrong spot, not mess it up. So, but I think it's his decision, hard work, and then the coaching received from Robbie and from Matt.
Awesome, thank you.